sports. Let me tell you, the Knicks game was like a goddamn playoff game today. The Knicks played and they kicked some ass. And Jalen Brunson got the last shot. He got fouled in the shot before. What did I say today to Aaron, Concert Aaron? I said to him, I said, the Yankees win 4-0, first time since 2003 when they lost 101 wins. They lost in the World Series to Mr. Beckett and Carl Pavano and the Marlins in 6 games. They started 4-0. They also became the 9th team to come back in the first 3 wins and come back after the 6th inning and win those games. They won again today. Juan Soto is terrific. What a win today. So I said Yankees win. Michigan makes their 3rd straight Frozen Four. They beat Michigan State. Friday, they beat Friday was the first time they'd ever come back in the 3rd period to win a game. They scored 3 on Friday, and they scored. They beat on Friday. You know what? I got to ask Michigan what they beat on Friday. Friday they won. They came back from 3. They scored 4 goals in the 3rd period today, and they won 5-2. It was 1-1 after 2. They'd never done that before, and they never had 3rd period comebacks. And now they're going to the Frozen Four for a team that lost to Michigan State in the Big Ten final. So those championships in Minnesota St. Paul are until April 11th through the 13th. So you have to wait. But then I said, why are we waiting? Well, we've got the Final Four. NC State men and women, for the first time ever, both made the Final Four. The women beat Texas. The men 11 seed, first time ever, an 11 beat a 4 in the NCAA tournament. That's what it said today. That's what I got to look at. But I said, you know what? Why would this guy put it up if he wasn't 11 beat 4? And Duke, John Shire, made his first Elite Eight, and they got blown out today. Well, it was never really close, and they ended up losing. So NC State men from had to win the ACC tournament over UNC is now in the Final Four. And Zach Edey had 40 points, 16 rebounds, and Hal and Lenker are still alive. And I got this great picture after they didn't call goaltending, I guess, on a play against Duke, and the player in question, yeah, sure, okay, sure thing. Yeah, sure thing there. Sure thing. Yeah, get some balls. Yeah, and what was I going to say to you? And NC State men and women, first time ever, both made the Final Four. They had to win the ACC tournament to even get here, and now they're going to a goddamn Final Four as an 11 seed. And so the picture is from LG and from Ben, a kid, and the goaltending call, which I guess gave Duke the ball, which I thought the ball was still going up. I always get that confused, up or down, whatever it was, that the kid giving the finger, an NC State fan from Barstool Sports, I thought it was hilarious, and I had to use this. So DJ Burns was a 4-star recruit, class of 2018, committed to Tennessee, redshirt season 2018-19, transferred to Winthrop in 2019, Big South Freshman of the Year 2020, All Big South, honorable mention 2021, Big South Player of the Year 2022, transfers to NC State, All ACC, honorable mention in last year, ACC Tournament MVP in 2024, and the most outstanding player this year with his family there. DJ Burns gets it done and gets it done. The Knicks, man, geez. And then the Knicks today, I'll tell you, I thought he got fouled on the go-ahead, but you can't leave SGA wide fucking open. And the Knicks are only now, they are 24-14 at home. That was a tough, now 2 straight bad losses. Well, listen, they were playing, and OKC clinched a playoff berth, so give them props for that front. But the Knicks ended up losing 113-112. I definitely think, Mike Breen, I thought there were a lot of egregious calls that weren't called, but when your team is shooting, listen to these free throw percentages. The OKC was 12 of 24 from the line. The Knicks were 23 of 34. The two teams missed 23 free throws. So Holmgren had 5 points. He really didn't have a good game at all. Jalen Williams is a star, 33 points. Josh Giddey has 3 triple-doubles in MSG, 16 points, 13 rebounds, 12 assists. Dort didn't do much of anything. And SGA had a terrible shooting game, 7 of 16, but he hit the game-winning shot. And in the end, that matters. They're 52-22. The Knicks, Hardenstein had 17, 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Brunson had 30, took a lot of threes that weren't. I thought, and they got sloppy with the ball when they could have had. I just thought they were playing like the Globetrotters, and that didn't work. And McBride, I don't know why his GA was so wide open, but again, you have all 5 starters in double figures, but DiVincenzo 4 for 18, 4 for 16 from 3, not going to get it done. Achua played 22 at 8 points, 2 rebounds, and I guess he didn't play. He wasn't even. I guess he was out. Was Mitchell Robinson? I guess got the day off. He was not playing today. So the next tough loss. The Nets lost. They gave a standing ovation to LeBron, who had 40 points, tied his career high with 9 threes, and yeah, just like that. The Nets suck. I mean, let's be honest here. Yankees, as I said, 4-0. The Mets lost again, 0-3. I mean, Podcast Rob, not a good start for the season. Yankee fans are going crazy. They're saying maybe we can go 162-0. I mean, I don't think that's going to happen, but listen, this start, and now they're going to play in Arizona, and Jody and Tom are going to those games. Yankees recap was behind the bench, and he said he talked to Garrett Cole. Said he'll be back soon. That's what he told Yankees recap when he was at the game. And yeah, he sent me videos. He was right there. You didn't have Volpe play today, who was dealing with a stomach ailment, but Juan Soto is getting it done. Juan Soto is, people are already talking about getting tattoos of him. Company adjacent. Brandon was saying something. Yankees 4-3 win, and Torres got a hit. So let's look at the averages. Soto's hitting .529. He knocked in another run. He's got 4. Judge knocked in his first run of the season. He's hitting .125. Rizzo's hitting .267. Sands at .214. Verdugo is .200. Birdie got his first start. He made a save. He made a backhanded save that would have scored a run, and they got out of a 9th inning when they had men on. And who pitched? Yeah, Clay Holmes, man. Listen, I am not a fan of Clay Holmes. I don't think he's the answer. He every time he comes on now, he reminds me of Wetland. When he came in, Wetland would always get me nervous, and I'd always be like, oh, shit, what's Wetland going to do out here? And, Clark Schmidt pitched 5 innings, gave up 3 runs. Hey, 7 and 3 runs. Loizaga came in, and then Birdie, Ferguson, and Holmes, and they held on for the win. And, hey, that's all that matters, right? I mean, 4-0 is 4-0. Are they playing tomorrow night? They are playing, tomorrow is the first day of April. Jeez Louise, man. So tomorrow they play 9:40 Eastern against the Diamondbacks. It is going to be Lucas Gill versus Ryan Nelson, and Arizona's 3-1 of the season. I mean, Mookie Betts has 4 home runs already. Dodgers were losing 2-0. They got the win, and Ohtani popped out yesterday. They lost the game yesterday, but a lot of teams are starting off well. The Braves scored 21 runs in their first 2 games. Never did that before. Hadn't done this since like '96 when they went to the World Series. A lot of teams are hitting the shit out of the ball this season. A lot of teams are just hitting the ball like crazy. Purdue is a 9-point favorite over NC State in the Final Four. And what did I see? And then Purdue, and then 11.5 UConn. UConn went on a 30-0 run yesterday, folks. 30-0 run yesterday. Think about that. 30-0 run in a basketball game, second half. First half going into the second half, 30-0 run. That shouldn't happen in any game, let alone an Elite 8 game, and they blew out Illinois. I don't think they can be stopped. I really don't. And I think Bama played a very good game against Clemson. Clemson wasn't hitting shots, and Bama ended up, getting that win. Hey, you know what? Props to them. It's who gets hot, who gets cold at the right time. And, they went 11 for 16 during the 30-0 run, did UConn. And during that time, Illinois went 0 for 17. I don't know how you go 0 for 17, but hey, look, DiVincenzo went 4 for 16, 4 for 18. That's the thing. When they needed the big shot, they couldn't get it. And it would be great for other guys to be healthy. They are the second youngest team, OKC. The Spurs are the youngest. You had the Rockets end an 11-game winning streak against the Mavs, who won 11 in a row. The Mavs, what did he have, 47 tonight, Luka? I mean, guys are like the Golden State's won 4 in a row. Teams are playing, and we're getting toward the crunch time. We're getting into single-digit games. And the Knicks only 24-14 at home. And, dude, they are playing some good basketball. That is what I will say, that for sure. Playing some very good basketball. Yeah. And it's just me today, folks. It's just me all by my lonesome. All by my lonesome today. I was talking to Aaron. I think everybody went to sleep, and that's okay. I actually have to be up at 5 a.m. I got to get this procedure done for my acid reflux, and I need new headphones. The headphones I have are so I have equipment here in New Jersey. I have equipment in New York. So I just need better headphones here, and I'm getting those tomorrow. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with this. I can't do my show like this, but we'll see. And yeah, that picture's hilarious. So LG Ben saw it during the game, and LG sent it to me. Michigan and Milton are ecstatic. Frozen Four, third straight year for Michigan hockey. And, I some interesting stuff today. What did I see today? Oh, yeah, about the gambling. The Athletic said, Otani isn't the only person to find himself caught in gambling's web of suspicion recently, and leagues and owners have no one to blame but themselves. It's all over the place. And he said, the Athletic said, Jim Trotter said, can we honestly rule out a worst case scenario where someone seeks retribution against a player or coach after losing money he or she had no business wagering? It could happen. You know what? Somebody goes crazy, it could definitely happen. The Knicks outscored the Thunder by 17 in the 35 minutes Brunson was on the court. Hey, what's up there, Nick? And they have, in the 13 minutes he was on the bench, they were outscored by 18. That was the game. That's a difference, similar to the San Antonio game. So, that happens. And Talia, to his brother, this is from Dove Kleiman, but this is Tony Pauline is a guy who covers the NFL draft. He said reportedly at his pro day, he struggled. He threw for scouts and has received tepid reviews, showed little arm talent, and his deep passes displayed little speed and even fluttered according to those on hand. I don't think he was a good quarterback. He wasn't a great quarterback in college, but he did throw for over 10,000 yards, and he wanted to get another year of eligibility. I heard that school wanted him this past year, one of the SEC schools, for $2 million. Hey, UFL is playing left and right. Rock was there like yesterday in a tank top and slacks, which I thought was hilarious. Like, I got to show off my guns. I'm like, dude, I watch you in your earlier acting career. You are a monster compared to what you used to look. I don't know what the workout is, but Jesus Christ, are you huge? And Draymond played today when they beat the Spurs, 21, 6 rebounds, 11 assists, 6 steals, 8 for 9 field goals, and these great stats here. First player in NBA history to reach those numbers in a game on 85% field goal percentage. 85%. Woohoo! That's fantastic. I'm so ecstatic for you. Thank you for that. And how about this? Most games with 7 3-pointers made in NBA history. Steph has 133. Clay has 49. And Damian Lillard has 47. 133, more than double, more than almost two-thirds as many as the other guys. Yeah. Oh, and I found something I really like at Trader Joe's. It's the dried baby sweet pineapple dried fruit. I know dried fruit's not, but it's phenomenal. And since the All-Star break, Wemby is averaging 26 points, 6 rebounds, 36 minutes a game. Woody Johnson impressed with the roster. So maybe they'll trade down. I don't like him. I don't like him in charge of things. That really bothers me a lot. Yeah, I really don't want him in charge of anything. If that can happen. And tomorrow, LSU against Iowa. And in these games, the reigning champ, when the reigning champ goes against the team they beat the previous year, they are 4-3. If they meet in the championship game, meet again the next postseason, they are 4-3, the reigning champs. That's on 7:00 tomorrow night. That is must-see TV. Caitlin Clark versus Angel Reese, Kim Mulkey, which the article didn't sound like it was anything. I mean, it sounded kind of, whatever. She said some stuff. Maybe she had problems with some of her gay athletes, which I was shocked. Listen, I just saw that I sent to Michigan, and a lot of people feel this way. I guess they feel threatened by trans people. But Cole Beasley said, yo, it'd be different if we weren't living in a world that is trying to make it okay for a boy to just be a girl all of a sudden, or a cat or a dog. In a world where they are trying to normalize pedophilia. I don't know how they're not. I don't know where they're getting that from. I never heard that. Handing out awards for courage for pretending to be something you're not. I'm trying to raise kids in a world that is getting more confusing every day. Do what you want, but stop promoting the shit like it's admirable. And some guy was, am I shocked with Cole Beasley? No, not even close. Not even close. Cole Beasley is going to be Cole Beasley. Listen, people born in a body they don't feel comfortable in. If they're not happy, people are becoming, listen, we ran a race. Harris and I ran a race New Year's Eve last year. They had a non-binary division. It's not causing me any problems. People, the pronouns, I just call them by the first name. I say, hey, what's your name? That's what I say. But that's the world today. Either get with it, or or it's get in your soapbox like an old man. That's what I say on that front. So I saw that. I was like, that's ridiculous. I was like, really? Well, that's what social media is. Everybody's got to say their opinions that are like assholes. Everyone's got one. Everyone's fucking got one. And looks like Brooklyn Bridge, Mikal Bridges, will lose his minutes crown this season after being the top guy last two. He's 81 in minutes behind DeMar DeRozan, who leads NBA players most points in the fourth quarter, and only 7 minutes ahead of Donatas Sabonis, who's number 3. All right, well, hey, you know what? He's playing a lot. Yeah, Sam Crin thinks he could be the greatest player. Victor Wemby could be the best player ever. Point blank. Better than everybody. Michael, LeBron, everybody. Hey, you know what? Can we let him finish a season while we're going crazy? But can we just finish a season and not get so ahead of ourselves? Can we just Jesus Christ, he hasn't even finished his first season. And they're saying that they should draft Zach Edey. So they'll have like they had with Robinson and with Robinson and who's the other guy? Who was the Wake Forest guy? Tim Duncan. That they'll maybe have another Twin Towers like that. So we'll see if that comes to fruition. And now I don't know if this is true or not. I mean, I don't know if he drove the car, but there was a 6-car accident, a Corvette that was registered. It was either leased or owned by Rashee Rice, the rookie wide receiver at SMU, who just won a Super Bowl with KC. There was an accident with 2 cars racing, a Corvette and a Lamborghini. The car is a 6-vehicle accident, and 4 people were injured. And they're looking for Rashee Rice, but they're not saying that he was the one driving the car. But you know what? Thank you, Kelly Smith. I was just dumb shit happens. And I did watch the Sebastian Fundora against Tim Tszyu fight. Tim Tszyu took an inverted elbow. Thank you for that, Felix. Gushing blood from the second round on his blood that even fought with blood in his face the whole fucking fight. And Fundora and his sister is a champion. So Fundora and his sister are both world champions. Never happened before. A brother and sister world champions. So he won the title over Sebastian Fundora. And then Errol Spence came on, who got Bud Crawford beat the living shit out of. And he was asked if he would vacate the WBO belt to face Errol Spence. And he said, Terrence Crawford is the best fighter in the world. I will like to fight him. Yeah, which I would do too. Thank you for that, according to Box and Raging Babe. Totally agree with that on 100%. I mean, that's ridiculous. And Fedora is 154 pounds, 6 foot. He is a huge man who's the skinniest. And he was bleeding from his nose. He was bleeding from his mouth. I'd love to see them fight again. I don't know if there'll be a rematch. But Tim Tszyu got a nasty cut, and you were just shit. I felt terrible for him. And Tommy Beer, career 50-point games as a Knick. Jalen Brunson 2. Every other point guard in New York franchise history combined 0. That's pretty impressive. Pretty impressive. And Zach Leiter should be up with the Rangers. He threw 5 innings, 9 Ks to start off his season. I'd like to see him up. Yeah, and what was the call by Sterling? It's a Soto photo. It's a wonderful. He is wonderful, marvelous. John Sterling. That's hilarious. Yeah, Connecticut's 11.5 over Bama. In the last 60 years of the Final Four, 12 teams have closed above 11. 8 of the 12 were all UCLA between 64 and 73. Crazy. So the biggest ones were 2021 semis, Gonzaga over UCLA. They were favored by 14. They won by 3. 95, Kentucky over Syracuse. 14, they won by 7. NC State over Marquette in 74 by 12. They won by 12. It was a push. And then 99, Duke over Michigan State was 11.5, and they won by 6. So thank you, Evan Abrams, for that. It doesn't always happen. Hey, Lon, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Good to see you. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh, my God. My buddy Lanker sent me for Happy Easter. Happy Easter. From yeah, it's hard to see. It's from Michael Douglas, and what's her name in Fatal Attraction. But Happy Easter. Hilarious. Yeah. So Chris Kreider was on a championship team. Yeah, I wanted to look up his trainer. Kreider passes 300 career goals, only the 3rd in franchise history to do that. 3rd. Isn't that crazy? Another 107 plus another 107 playoff, 800 regular season games plus 107 playoff games. He already holds the Rangers franchise record with 40 playoff goals. Unbelievable. Yeah, crazy, right? That is awesome. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Yeah. Husky, I can't believe that. 30 points. 5 points at close of the half, 25 unanswered second half. That just blows my mind. 30-point run. Donovan Klingen, 22 points. So Illinois was 0 for 19 on shots contested by Klingen. 0 for 19. Talk about a guy who is affecting the basketball. 0 for 19, dude. Blows my mind how that 30-0 run. Yeah, Cabrera, Soto. So Cabrera, along with Juan Soto, have been one of the team's best hitters. So Cabrera changed his approach in the middle of spring, in part by watching Soto work in the batting cage. And Birdie got his first start. But how about that? Cabrera has been playing great. Been playing great. Yeah, and DJ LeMahieu now has his foot the swelling wouldn't go down. But now he's got a fractured foot. He's going to be out at least 2 months. So they're going to have to use Birdie and Cabrera, and it's theirs right now. Hey, that's the thing. Yeah. Oh, and then they had a fight in the Blue Jays game. I was like, nice. One guy bumped into the other, all the benches cleared. Listen, when Rhys Hoskins took out McNeil and almost broke his fucking ankle, that's something okay. But two guys bumping into each other, really, baseball players, get the fuck. Go back to your benches, dude. Go back to your benches. Come on, really? Honestly, ridiculous. Just horse shit. How about this? Austin Matthews, 60 goals. 60 goals, dude. He is 8 up ahead of Zach Hyman from the Oilers, and Sam Reinhart from the Panthers. He's up 9 up on. 60 goals, dude. Jesus Christ. Yeah. He leads all players with 45 even strength goals so far this year. That sets a team record for the Leafs, which he previously set in 21-22. He's amazing. 9th player with multiple 60-goal seasons. The only active player to have 2 separate 60-goal seasons. And he's also the only American-born player in NHL history to score 60 goals twice. That, to me, is awesome. Yeah, he's had a 60-goal season twice. He's hit 44 times. Only 8 of the players have ever scored 60 goals twice. Gretzky, Lemieux, Brett Hull, and I was talking to Harris yesterday. Harris said Mike Bossy is the greatest hockey player. If he didn't got hurt, he said he'd be better than Gretzky. I was like, dude, I got to get you on to talk about that. So Gretzky, in his opinion, not as good as Bossy, which I was like, wow, really? So Bossy not as good. Gretzky not as good as Bossy. He said, hey, they should have won 5 in a row. I said, that was a long time ago, dude. That was like 84. So the only 8 other players who scored 60 goals twice: Gretzky, Lemieux, Brett Hull, Mike Bossy, Phil Esposito, Yari Curry, Steve Yzerman, and Pavel Bure. That is a hell of a group. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, he's amazing. Yeah. And Coach Prime was at the UFL opener. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. And Mac Jones reached out. Bama, roll tide, roll. Mac Brown, I think you should work on your own game. Don't worry about that shit. Yeah, Duke had a great season, women's basketball. First Sweet 16, they ended up losing to UConn. Tough game. And I was watching the Fioro Blanchfield fight. Blanchfield was from Elmwood Park in New Jersey, near me. And Fioro was too strong for her. And Andreas Hale brought up a good point, saying the good and bad of MMA versus boxing. In boxing, the fight wouldn't happen on a non-pay-per-view card in fear of one of their stocks taking a significant hit. The UFC doesn't wait, for better or worse, and now Blanchfield is being exposed by a far superior striker, and she couldn't get her down to the ground. She couldn't use, as Mike said to me, he said that she wasn't using her jiu-jitsu, and she was the smaller fighter, and she was getting tagged left and right, man. It was not and Chris Weidman won his fight against Silva, but he actually got an eye poke in. So they went to the cards after 2 rounds and called the unanimous decision. But everybody said Weidman should go out. Took a lot of shots in that fight. So, what happens. Yeah, and Zoo wasn't pleased how his corner handled the cut. Yeah. Yeah. And I like that we were talking too about the UFC being at an actual, instead of the Apex, which is like someone's fucking backyard, it was at Atlantic City, so you had real people there. And that made, it made a big difference when you had a crowd there, which was cool. And Mookie Betts 10 RBIs in its first 5 games. Roy Campanella had 12 RBIs became official in 1920. He has been hell. Awesome. Yeah. So one guy wrote that if, with Weidman. So if you're confident you've won the first two and not feeling the third, just make a brutal foul to get the win. Yeah, Mookie Betts, man, dude. And Yamamoto didn't pitch that bad either. So Alabama, first Final Four. Clemson was going for their first Final Four. They started 1 for 13 from the three-point line. They finished 15 for 23 the rest of the way. Sears, 23, career high. Stevenson, whose mom played at UNC, he had 19. And Nate Oates gets to the Final Four. It's pretty impressive. And of the current 14 teams in the SEC, this is from Pat Smith. Texas and OU both have been. Only Tennessee, Vanderbilt, A&M, Ole Miss, and Missouri never gone to one. And the Vols ended up losing to Purdue. So that list isn't growing anymore. But I thought that was, yeah, Pat Summit. Yeah, I didn't like, but yeah. So, yeah, Fundora got the win. Fundora, yes. And his sister, Gabriela Fundora, is the IBF flyweight champion. And he won the title. Yeah, he got all the, what was it? A super welterweight yesterday. And his sister, who was in his corner, is the IBF flyweight champion, which I thought was really cool. So the Grizzlies this year set a NBA record, 31 players who logged minutes. They had 28 in 18-19, 31. Talk about a season that just went off the rails. Thank you, Evan Barnes, for that one. 31 players, breaking the previous record of 30. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's a lot of players, man. Yeah, UConn should be. Yeah, Emma. Yeah, I'll tell you. I don't. UConn looks really, really, really strong. Really strong. Chris Bryant went 0 for 4 on Saturday, 4 strikeouts. Over 10 with 7 strikeouts. I got to see, what did he do today? So he hasn't had a hit. So that means today he had to have a hit for the Rockies. Let's see what he did today. He's 0 for 10, 0 for not having a good season. Let's see. Did he get the day off? Yes, he did not play. So he is stuck at 0 for 10 with 7 strikeouts. Not good. Not good at all. No bueno. No bueno at all. Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a little rough. Yeah, Fundora's face was all fucked up. He was all beat up. Yeah, that was, yeah. Hopefully, you got the day off today. Yeah, Yamamoto in his Dodgers debut, Dodger Stadium, 5 innings, 2 hits, no runs, no base of balls, 5K, 68 pitches. Yeah, good. And there was a lot of rain, so there was rain out and everything. So, yeah, 8 missed free throws by Clemson. Yeah, you got to make free throws, man. You have to. How about Lafreniere yesterday in the win? Jonathan Quick, the most wins by an American goalie. Lafreniere had 3 goals, 2 assists, 5 points. His first hat trick ever. Yeah, 5th straight. Finished March 10-3-1. They're 24-1 since February. Ryan Lindgren has had a goal and 2 assists. They won 8-5 over Arizona. That is awesome. 104 points. Just unbelievable. 50 wins. 50 goddamn wins. Quick is now the all-time U.S. born goalie, most wins, which you gotta love. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they. And Ralph Russo said that good 3-point defense by Clemson, and it fell apart. Hey, listen, that's a game when you don't hope it doesn't fall apart, and it does. Jung Hoo Lee, first career home run in the Giants win on Saturday night. I love that when I see that. UConn and Duke tied their respective program marks for second fewest points scored in an NCAA tournament game. Hey, you know what? That's the thing too. Yeah, that was yesterday. And the women's, yeah. Paige Beckers had a good game though. She did. She did real good. Second fewest points. I'm sorry. She almost outscored the goddamn team. Almost outscored Duke. Yeah, he's playing amazing. So they talked. Yes, that's what Rob sent me. Podcast Rob sent me that Hicks and Trout got into a pretty bad shouting match where Hicks didn't think Trout was hustling enough in the outfield, and they said it was totally fabricated. It did not happen. Yeah, but they did have a team meeting, and the season hasn't reached April yet for the Angels, which is not a good sign right now. Yeah, they had this erroneous report, and it didn't happen. So I read that. I was like, okay, so that's a bunch of bullshit. Yeah, Braves are hitting the shit out of the ball as we speak. Yeah, crazy. How about most consecutive games reach base safely to start a career since 1900? Nolan Shanuel has 31. Noah Shanuel. And Sarah Langs always has good stuff. And I was like, Noah Shanuel is first baseman for the Angels. And he got on base again today. So Jesus Christ, the dude just keeps 32 games to start his career getting on base. And that's still not the record. That's still not the record. Yeah, it's not even the record. I mean, that's impressive, but it's not even the record. Alvin Dark in 84, 47. So he's 6 behind Truck Hanna in 1918. 6 behind to tie that. That's pretty impressive. How about Friday night's attendance for the A's? 3387, 9742 at the AAA Las Vegas. Thank you, Front Office Sports. You think that's not a problem? Yeah, LeMahieu's, yeah. You think that's crazy? 3,700 at a Major League Baseball game. 3,700. That is crazy. Crazy. Yeah. Yeah, that's nuts. Wow. I saw that. I was like, holy shit. That's embarrassing. That is like that's atrocious. That is malfeasance. Malfeasance, I tell you. Yeah, and LeMahieu's in the fourth of a 6-year, $90 million deal. Yeah, he's out for a while, dude. And Oswald Peraza's out too. Yeah, so now he's out. They found the ball in camp, and it showed a more notable injury. This non-displaced fracture. We reevaluated in 2 weeks, but he's going to be out for quite a while. And how about Malik Monk? Guard suffered a sprained right MCL, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, career best season, and they need him to make and needs a Kings run in the Western Conference playoffs to return. He had 1,110 points, 370 assists off the bench. In the past 40 seasons, only one player reached those marks off the bench in the season, Lou Williams with the Clippers in 2018-19. That's how good a season he was having. Sprained MCL, expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks. That is bad. That's not good at all for them. Yeah, Iowa blew out. Yeah, blew out. Yeah, and Ron Darling said it with Reese Hoskins. It's too late to throw at a guy after he's beating your brains, and I agree. That was absurd, and they're playing like shit. And Connor McDavid is tied for the league lead in points. Just crazy. Yeah. I don't know why they throw at Hoskins. How about this? Adrian Griffin with the Bucks, 30-13. Since Doc Rivers took over, this was yesterday, 14-13. I would say that is. And Zeke to the Cowboys? Zeke to the fucking Cowboys? Are you fucking kidding me? Zeke? Come on. No. Hell no. That's a big hell no on that front. Yeah, and the Lakers linked to Trae Young. You can have him. Yeah. And LeBron says he's not going to play forever, but we'll see what happens. And a Louisville resident and obvious fan sent Oakland a check with a nice note. This is from Front Office Sports to Greg Campy. He says he normally sends a certain amount each year to the school that knocks Kentucky out of the tournament. This year, because of our story, which in Front Office Sports, he doubled that amount. Truly the definition of March Madness. Yeah, listen, people that hate Kentucky, that's what they do, man. That's what they do. They do what they do. And I love what Elliot Cadeau says. I'm going to keep getting in the gym, keep getting better, so it's impossible for somebody to keep me off the court. I agree. I don't know why he's off the court. He's that good. Isaiah Thomas is, yeah. Listen, I love hearing that energy, man. I love hearing it. It's awesome. I think it's great. Yeah, and Calhoun, Utah State, Gerard Calhoun is going to be the next head coach of Utah State. And Michigan State, I talked about, hired Western Michigan defensive coordinator Lou Esposito. So good luck with all that. Michigan football. Yeah, I think that's everything. I think I covered it. Well, I had some pictures I was taking. Yeah, the Hidalgo with the thing in her nose is bullshit. And Brittany Griner's returning to Mercury on a 1-year deal. Love that. Jalen Green averaging 20 points a game. Good for him. And Barnes could not get the job done today. Could not get the job done. Couldn't get it done. Hey, it happens, dude. Sometimes you feel like a nut. Sometimes you don't. Yeah, people sending me stuff. Did I miss anything else? Oh, Cameron Sutton turned himself in, wanted for weeks, involvement in domestic violence. Total shit show. Kings lead the Jazz. SGA did call game. Hartenstein had a good game. LeBron says his playing days are almost over. Curry at 33, 8 assists, 1 rebound. Luka 47, 11-game win streak for the Rockets ends. Yeah, crazy. PG, Brandon Miller, jersey swap. Paul George, the GOAT. Yeah, DJ Burns is going to be like the greatest player. Standing ovation from the Brooklyn crowd for LeBron. Yeah, for LeBron. Bumble sent me this Easter. Oh, happy Easter to all celebrating. Celebrating. Hey, I don't, but I'm out in Jersey. Got a procedure. I got to be up at Michigan's Fury. He's like, you have to go to bed. You have to go to bed. I said, yeah, I know I have to go to bed, but I got to do a show too. So, yeah, I love what I said early. What I say, great Knicks game. Duke lost. Michigan hockey won. Yanks won. Mets, damn, I got nothing. Yeah. And this was totally fucked. This is the most fucked up thing. So officials confirmed that the 3-point lines are different distances on each side of the court in the NC State-Texas Elite Eight game. The two teams agreed to play through it. So they had it was wrong. You could even see in the picture how they were off. And they're figuring out, and Chris Hassel said, they're just figuring out the court has been jacked up in Portland. It's the same for every other game too. This was BC USC last night. Can clearly tell, you can see on both sides, shorter distance on the left. They said the 3-point lines at the Moda Center in Portland are not the same distance ahead of the Elite, which officials noted the discrepancy before tip-off, but both coaches agreed. What the fuck? They elected to play a complete game on the court as is, rather than correcting the court and delaying the game. The court will be corrected before tomorrow's game in Portland. So Lisa Peterson, the chair of the NCAA D1 Women's Basketball Committee, said that the floor has been the same all week. 4 of the matchups were held in the same court. ABC reported the teams that played on the longer side of the court shot 3% worse from behind the arc, which is kind of funny. The floor will be professionally measured before top-seeded USC faces UConn in the final spot for the Women's Final Four on Monday. I mean, good God. How the fuck do you fuck that up? And then someone noticed, and they played all these games on it. That's a bad. Listen, that's one thing you should never have to worry about. That should be fixed and never even not even up for discussion. And if they'd agreed to play on a court like that in a game to go to the Final Four is ridiculous. Unbelievable, man. I mean, unbelievable today. Wow. Yeah, Elite Eight game. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah. Jesus Christ. Unbelievable. It just blows my mind. Yeah. I'm just like, how do you let this happen? How do you let this happen? Crazy train. Just crazy train of mine. I just was blown away. Something that this egregious could happen. Egregious. NC State men's first time in the Final Four since '83, Valvano, when they beat Phi Slamma Jamma and Hakeem the Dream 54-52. Remember that game? Lorenzo Charles? Valvano running around for someone to hug? That was in the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I saw that game, remember, like it was yesterday. That was awesome. Awesome. And Zach Edey, 40 points, 16 rebounds. First Final Four since 1980. Joe Barry Carroll. I remember that like it was yesterday. Purdue, 1980. Yeah, the 1980 Final Four. 1980 Final Four. No, that's not what I want. Thank you. That's not what I wanted. 1980 Final Four. Yeah. Louisville with Mr. Duncanstein. Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, the Final Four was Iowa, Louisville, Purdue, and UCLA. Number 1 seeds were DePaul, Kentucky. I remember Kentucky. I think it was the year Kentucky. I mean, at DePaul, he missed some free throws. They ended up losing. If I remember correctly. Wow, that was a long time ago, dude. Yeah, Iowa played Georgetown. Then it was Iowa. God damn. That was the East. Midwest was Duke, Purdue. So Purdue went there. Midwest was LSU, Louisville. Louisville was a good team. And in the West DePaul lost to UCLA in the first round, a 1 loss to 8. UCLA went all the way from an 8, and they beat Clemson. Well, that was Clemson made the Final Four in 80. I mean, the Elite Eight in 80. The Final Four, Louisville beat Iowa by 8, and UCLA beat Purdue. And then there was a third place game that year, and Purdue beat Iowa, and then Louisville beat UCLA by 5 and won the with Denny Crum. Remember, like I was like, and then he brought up Zach Edey that he wasn't heavily recruited, and one of the guys that wasn't interested in him when he was, coming out was Tennessee. Yeah, and he got his coach Painter his first Final Four at Purdue. He said, I get to pay Painter back. You can name a program, and I can name a coach that looked over me. Tennessee, Rick Barnes is a great coach, but he was in a bunch of our practices, looked over me. It's been the story of my life. He only had 3 offers: Purdue, Baylor, and Western Kentucky. Yeah. Painter said Mark Sears at Alabama then started Ohio his freshman year. He was behind an NBA player in Jason Preston, but still he didn't start his freshman year there. And now look at him. He is in the Final Four. So there's great players everywhere. So I want to get Mark Sears out of high school, right? Because he had mid-major offers, and Steve Lutz, who's the head coach at Western Kentucky, he's the one who recruited Zach Edey. I always talk about that. I think I talked about it the other day, but I think it's a big fallacy in recruiting because everybody wants to play shortstop. But if Cal Ripken's there, he's probably not going to get moved. And so guys just don't grasp. They want roles, but I want players that just want to win. And that's something, yeah, I want to win. And I love that. I want to win, dude. Like, I want to win. And that's what I want. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. And that's what I want, a guy who wants to win. Yeah, I want a guy who wants to win. That's exactly what I want to hear. Yeah, nobody's around today. Very quiet. Very quiet on the Western Front, folks. South Carolina, 4th straight Final Four. 107-3 the last 3 years. They won the title in 2022. Another natty would look good up there. That was a tough game today. I thought there was some bad foul calls against Oregon State, but they have so many players on. We have like 7 players who've scored at least 8 points a game for South Carolina. They just keep bringing players in. And you have Iowa, LSU tomorrow, and B-Ball Guru said, this is going to be the equivalent of UNLV Duke. Remember UNLV blew out Duke in the finals in the Natty next year? Duke won because what the hell's his name? The point guard, I'm blanking on his name. Greg Anthony fouled out, and they lost their field general, and that was the end of that. And Duke won by 2. So we'll see what happens there. UNC, Laney Grant, a point guard from Midlothian, Virginia, reclassified to next season instead of 25. Talk about the Knicks. Brunson at 30. Hart at 13, 15, rebounds, 6 assists. Hey, you know what? Hey, better team. Listen, OKC is a great team. And Josh Giddey, man, 3 triple-doubles at MSG is crazy. And, the Nets not playing good basketball. Let's be honest. They're not playing good ball right now. But the month of March, despite injuries, Cam Thomas, 10 games, 27 a game, 4 assists in March, 5 rebounds. Wow. Yeah, so that was a good month. I think that's good. And how about the Clippers? They went 10-7 in March. The first time they've had 3 10-win months in a season since 2014-15. Third time in franchise history. They went 11-2 in December, 12-3 in January. They're 47-27, 4-game lead on clinching the Pacific Division after starting 3-7. How about NC State ended their season 2-7 their last 9? So teams come back. They can get it done. And Ivica Zubac had 24 points, 12 rebounds, 2 blocks, 7 for 8 from the field, 10 for 10 from the line, season 9 points. Harden made only 1 shot, 0 turnovers for only the 3rd time this season to go with his 26th 10-assist game. Lowell Murray, that's all we care about. And Farbad Esnashari, listen, PG, 14 for 21, 8 for 12 from 3, 5 for 5 from the line, 41 points. 41 points. This team, I'd be nervous to play the Clippers in the playoffs. I'd be very nervous. They play some very good basketball. The Lakers open up on a 17-0 run on the net. 17-0. LeBron, second Laker to make 9 3-pointers in multiple games, joining Kobe. He's the first Laker to do it while shooting 90% from 3. That's awesome. 40 points. 13 for 17 from the field, 9 for 10 from three, 5 for 6 from the line. He had a 101.8 true shooting percentage, the highest in any game of his career. Thank you, Matt. I mean, think about that. And he says, I'm not very long. I'm not going to play another 21 years. Well, no, of course not. That's for darn sure, but not very long. I don't know when the door will close as far as when I'll retire, but I don't have much time left. Dude, I don't care what you have left. Play until you're 50. Let's see what you can do. Because, good God, you're scoring 40 goddamn points in a game. What the hell? Jesus Christ. Wow. I mean, good God. Mavs 11 in a row. Luka 47 through 3. Jesus. Sat out the fourth, 47 points. Jabari Smith had 28, but it's amazing. Raptors have lost 13 in a row. They lost to the Sixers, 135-120. They're 23 and 51, 13 in a row. Sixers are 40 and 35. Thank you, Eric Kareen. Eric Oubre at 32. So, hey, hey. And Olnick, what did Olnick have? 18 and 11 for Olnick. So his assist totals over the last 4 games, 10, 9, 8, and 11, 38. Most he's ever had in a 4-game span. His previous high was 32. Josh Lewenberg put that up, and Eric Kareen called him a nerd. Now, Louis Zatzman put this up. The Raptors have lost the last 13 games by a combined 222 points. The average deficit over 13 consecutive, the largest deficit over 13 consecutive games in franchise history. 13 to 222. Do the math. That's 17 a game. That's, yeah. Let's do the 92, 17 and change a game. Yeah. And Michael Malone not happy with the Nuggets. He says the transition woes, which turned into empowering players to play their game. When you start turning down looks, now things get tighter. He said the first thing is admitting you have a problem. Hi, my name is Michael. I have a problem. He said the problem is why in the last couple of games haven't we ran the way we were the prior 17 games out of the break? And he goes, are we defending? Are we taking the ball out of the net? Are we rebounding? Are we giving them second chance opportunities? Third chance? And then when are we getting out and running? Are we spacing correctly? Are we getting quality looks? And then you look at the finishing. Okay, well, we've got to take more pride in our finishing. But if you're getting the good looks and you're generating the open threes, you just kind of implore them to stay with it. We have been a team that has been a very efficient offense for years now. We're going to have ebbs and flows, and unfortunately, we're in a downturn. The good thing is you can't get lower than 30th in three-point shooting. Stay with it. Stay the course. Give guys confidence to promote them, playing their game and not being afraid to make a mistake, not being afraid to make an open shot, because when you start turning down looks, now things get tighter. I don't want that. I want the guys to play free. And even last game, Reggie, Christian, some guys had great looks but didn't go down. Pat him on the butt, man. That's a good look. Keep shooting the ball, because those guys have thousands of reps of those same shots we're getting in the games. And I think that's great to say to the players. I thought that was all, Ryan Blackburn. I love that you put that up, because you know what? It was interesting. I'm watching the Knicks game today. It was the end of the game, and I know he was tired. And, I know I can't stand when he admires his shots, Jalen Brunson. But there was a ball that got a rebound, and Jalen Brunson took off like a bat out of hell. I think he got the ball. But I loved the energy that he was all out going, running down the court, the effort and the just that's what you can't teach effort. You have to. That's what we talked about. Hustle. Playing defense. That's something you have to want to do deep down inside. And Malone knows that his players have made these shots. They can make these shots. Sometimes you can have a downturn. Now it's better to have it now before the end of the season and have a little lull and then start peaking at the right time. Listen, they won a championship last year. It's a long season. It was a longer season even for them because they got to the NBA Finals, and it's a shorter off season. But, now, you win one, you want to win a second one. You don't just want to settle on one. So, yeah, Michigan was saying to me, which I don't remember her saying to me, was that she really wanted Harbaugh to come back and defend and get a second ring. Wanted him to go for a second championship. But I think the lure was too much to go, and especially with Justin Herbert, it was too much. But I thought she was happy with the one. She said she was, but I would have liked the second one. I said, yeah, me too. Me too. Bulls beat the Wolves. DeMar DeRozan has the most fourth quarter points, 496, than Giannis, De'Aaron Fox, LeBron, and Curry. LeBron and Curry have this it's crazy. Isn't that crazy? They're top 5 for points, fourth quarter. And prior to March of 2024, Alex Caruso of the Bulls had 2 career games of 5+ three-pointers made. 3 this month alone, including 6 threes made tonight early in the third quarter. So DeMar DeRozan had 27 points. Caruso had 21, a career high, 7 made threes, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 5 steals. Guy is all hustle, busts his ass. Lakers wish they had him back. And I talked about Curry. Curry had 7 3-pointers on 33 points, 4 straight wins. Draymond had 21, 100% in his threes, 11 assists game high, 6 steals game high, 6 rebounds. Now, if he just would stay in the court and, not get so fucking hot-headed sometimes, it would help the team out a lot. And, he was the first player in NBA history to reach those numbers in a game on 85% field goal percentage. It's like, who cares? Wemby had 32, 9 rebounds, 5 assists, 4 steals. Jesus Christ. He is just amazing. And I saw this on Saturday. The Celtics had their 18th double-digit road win victory. One from the franchise record. They are 58-16. Think about that. 18 double-digit road wins this year. That's the thing. Playing great on the road like that. That's impressive to me. That is very impressive. That is awesome. I love that stuff. Knicks. Knicks. That was a tough loss today. The Yankees have talked about Josh Beckett. 2003 last time they started 4-0, and coincidentally, in 2003 they also started 4-0 on the road. And Kirk Cousins' cousin, was signed by the Yankees from the White Sox in exchange for cash considerations. He's a pitcher. The last 3 years he's pitched with a 3.08 ERA, 52 innings pitched, 51 appearances, 30 games and 30 innings came in 2021. He leans heavily on a slider, close to 60% of his pitches, and a sinker's 30, which means ground balls, a metric the Yankees like from the pitchers. They like ground balls. Leads to double plays, leads to, more plays that you can make on defense. That's a good thing. Mets lost again. 4-1, not good. Kyle Schwarber hit a home run today, which was the second hardest home run ever. I love when they say the off Chris Sale, 114.4 miles an hour. I wouldn't want to get hit by that. Judge had the fastest, 116 and change back in 2018. I talked about Mookie Betts. Walker Buehler had a rehab start for the Dodgers, so that's a guy who'll be coming up. Braves, 21 runs first 2 games, as I said, most since 1996. Avs had their 100-point season for the 3rd straight year. Michigan hockey is in their 3rd straight Frozen Four. Haven't won a natty since 1998. And Boston College beat Quinnipiac, the defending champs, in overtime. They're in the Frozen Four. So it's BU, BC, Minnesota, and Denver. Yes. Denver. Yeah, so, wow, we got that coming up, huh? That's exciting. And the Steelers remain interested in free agent wide receiver Tyler Boyd, but aren't expected to increase their original contract offer per Mark Caboli, who covers the team. They want Boyd, but at their price. And Blanchfield and Fierro both, hey, what's up there, Rob? Both of them came in on a 6-fight win streak. Did I miss anything today? No. Cousin sent me a stupid joke. Yeah, free throws are big today, dude. Free throws missed very, very big today. Yeah, so it happens. All right, I'm going to do, what's up there, dude? You can hear me, right? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Yeah, I don't have good headphones in, so I was a little concerned. But I'd love to have you on, but I'd have to switch you and put you on. But you know what, dude? Actually, I got to be up at 5 a.m., so if you would have got on earlier, I would have had you on. Oh, good. Yeah. Well, you can hear me because I'm just talking to you right there. So I got a trivia question for today, which I think you know already. I think you put it up. I think even Rob put it up for Saul. Who holds the record for most 30-point games in NBA history? Who holds the NBA record for most 30-point games in NBA history? Most 30-point games in NBA history. Okay, I think you gave that question. So no one is really answering. I got to go. So I just did a whole thing. I talked about a lot of stuff today. Sorry about your Mets there, podcast, Rob. I feel for you. There, yeah. Oh, you didn't put it up? So do you know the answer was the most? But you saw the question, right? Did you see it? It was the most 30-point games? No, it is not Wilt still. The most 30-point games in NBA history. Wilt Chamberlain is 3rd. So I guess you have a couple other guesses if you want to guess. But no, it is not Wilt. but that's a good answer. Good answer, but it is not Wilt if you want to answer it. And yeah, actually, I'm pretty happy with myself. I had a lot of material today, and I got to all of it. I was talking to myself, and that's okay. I mean, sometimes you got to talk to yourself. And nope, not Kareem. I'll give you one more guess. Dun, da, da, da. Not Kareem. Most 30-point games. So you got Kareem. Kareem is not in. I just have the top 3 in this list. Yeah. Yeah. You got one more guess. So it's not Wilt. It's not Kareem. Who else do you think it is? Bob wants to answer. I could see him. He's testing it. Dun 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 dun. Got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, not Karl Malone, but good guess. Thank you for listening today, Rob. Oh, you were with the kids and everything. So Nick game that was tough. And Yankees won, Michigan hockey won, NC State, that's freaking awesome. Mets 0-3. Mets, who are the Mets playing tomorrow? Oh, and Rangers play the Penguins tomorrow. Rangers are home, I think, right? Rangers are home for the Penguins tomorrow. Mets are, I know the Yankees are in Arizona. The Mets are host the Tigers tomorrow at 7:10 p.m., which is going to be freezing your ass off. And I don't know who's pitching tomorrow. Yeah, Mets versus Tigers, I don't know. Oh, well, if it was McGill today, can't be Quintana. Who's pitching tomorrow? Yeah, I don't know who's pitching. Who is pitching tomorrow? Who's pitching tomorrow, Rob? I don't know who's pitching tomorrow. Yeah, that's a good question. Let's see. Let me look. The Mets are starting. It's a good question, dude. Oh, Manea. All right, Manea. It is. All right, Rob. Oh, I love the picture. So thank LG, the kid giving the finger to the NC State kid giving a finger to Duke. That's the best. The best. Rob, sorry you didn't get on earlier. Josh was nowhere to be found, but it is Easter, so I figured what are you going to do? I thought Saul was going to come on. Saul is upset. His ass is chapped because I sent him a Bumble sent me something about Halloween, and it's a raunchy freaking video, and it's yeah. And I'm glad Michigan didn't see it because she didn't want to see it. I sent it to my friend Scott, and he was laughing. Everybody laughed. Everybody was like, dude. So whatever. All right, guys. Peace out. Talk to you later. Adios. Go Blue. Duke sucks.